Hello everyone, so welcome to another class for you to do at home. The first few minutes of this clip is going to just be focusing on some hip mobility, opening up. I will demonstrate first and cue you through the breathing, so make sure that you listen really well, watch before you do. Good, so we're going to start in a kneeling position, making sure your knees are right underneath your hips and your shoulders are right above your hips as well. Tucking it down with the tailbone behind you, and then feel the energy running all the way up from the kneecaps all the way through to the crown of the head. I'm going to just give you a side profile so that you can watch what my hips are doing. Starting with your left leg, so watch first. We're going to start with tucking the tailbone under. This will activate your gluteal muscle and stretch out into the front of the hip. Tuck it under and then you will be releasing it. The breathing is inhale to prepare. And then as you exhale, pull in with the tummy, tuck under. And then release again on the next inhalation. Ready? We'll do 8 together. Left leg in the front, making sure that the knee is right over your ankle. Inhale to prepare and exhale. Tuck it under, feel that gluteal muscle, lifting tall from the kneecap all the way up through to the crown of the head. Release. And tuck it under. Release. Tuck it under as you exhale. Exhale, tuck it under. 4 to go. Exhale, tuck it under. Last 3, lifting tall. Last 2. You can feel a lovely stretch in the front of the leg as well. And last 1. Good. Change over. We'll do the same on the right side this time. Take your right leg out in front of you. Knee over your ankle. Lifting nice and tall from the kneecap all the way up through to the crown of the head. Inhale to prepare. And exhale, tuck it under. Feel how you're lifting taller as you tuck it under. Gluteal muscle engaged. Front of the hip is stretching out. Inhale, release. And exhale, tuck it under. Inhale, release. Exhale, lengthen, lift. Pull the tummy in as you do the tucking under. And 4. Another 4 to go. Exhale, tuck it under. Feel the openness in the front of that left hip. Inhale. Exhale. We've got 2 to go. And exhale. Lifting tall, squeezing that left gluteal. Release. Last one. Exhale, tuck it under. And then release. So the next one is going to be a little bit of a side flexion, also helping you to stretch into the hip. We're going to start with the left leg out in the front. So making sure that you go into that tucking under position, feeling the right gluteal this time, squeezing tight, openness here in the front of your right hip. Now, we're going to just sink the left fingers down towards the floor. As you're sinking over to your left, you're going to feel lots more stretch here on the right hand side. Then trail the side of the body up with your fingertips until you get as far as you can to underneath your armpit. Can we feel that stretch? Keep that tailbone tucked under. Now lift that arm up to the ceiling, making yourself as tall as you can, trying to touch the ceiling here. Now inhale here. And exhale. Keep on reaching up. We're going to reach over a little bit and feel that stretch increase more. Now let's inhale and feel how this inhalation opens up the side body. And up to the ceiling. From there, inhale. And then exhale over. And inhale. And exhale over. Keep that tailbone tucked under. Inhale. And exhale over. And inhale. And exhale over. And inhale. And exhale over. We've got 3 to go. Inhale. And exhale over. Lifting tall, even though you're going into lateral flexion here. Inhale. And exhale. And last 2. Inhale. And exhale. Keep the tailbone tucked under. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Let's change around. Take your right leg out in front of you. Again, knee just over your ankle, and then making sure that you are going to be lifting tall as you tuck the tailbone under here on the left. Feel that left gluteal muscle squeezing. Feel the openness in front of the hip. Good. So, sink over towards the right with your fingers. Sink as far as you can get. Good. Keep that tailbone tucked under. So really important to squeeze that left gluteal muscle. Now, slide those fingers up the sideline as far as you can get to your armpit. And then from there, reaching up and nice and tall. Good. Inhale here. And exhale. And as we exhale for the next one, we're going to reach over to the side. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale up. Keep that gluteal muscle squeezing on the left by tucking the tailbone under. 3 to go. 2 to go. Lifting tall even though you're going into lateral flexion. And last one. Good. Now come down onto your bum, lean back slightly onto the arms, have the feet quite wide apart because we're just going to do a little bit of mobility here into your hip joints. So just moving over to the left, then to the right. So what you have here is internal rotation for the leg here, external rotation for the leg on that side. And this is internal, external rotation into those hip joints. Keep the spine as long as you can, as keeping the chest lifted. And this is also a nice movement to loosen off into the lower spine. Just keep your breathing flowing, staying connected with your breath. We're moving a little bit faster here through the legs. Okay, we're going to finish with our feet, with our knees pointing to the left. So if you are sitting on a mat, come to the top of the mat or the towel. But what you are looking for here is your left leg to be at a 90-degree angle. And then for your right leg to be at a 90-degree angle. So just have a little look at your setup. I'm going to demonstrate first. So watch. I have my legs in 90 degrees. And I've got both of my hands behind my spine. So I'm going to use my right hand, lift it up, reach it all the way over, tap down to the mat. All the way up, place it back behind me again. Now, keeping the heels in exactly the same spot, roll it over to the opposite side. Use your hand behind you, so this time it's your left hand, reach it up nice and wide, tap the floor, bring it back behind you. Okay, now join in with me. Get yourself into your 90-90 position. So for some of you, this is going to feel like quite a challenge. So if it is feeling a little bit too hard for you, bring the knee in a little bit. The knee that's on your right. So just bring that back in again. But if you can, have that knee as far out as you can so that it's in line with your arm when you reach the arm out like this on the right. Also notice that the ankle sometimes wants to come into the bum. So make sure that ankle is in line with the knee so that you have that 90-degree angle. Good. So have both of your hands behind you. Take your right arm, lift it up, swing it over and tap it in front of you, as far in front of you as you can. Swing it all the way up, place it behind you. Swing the legs over to the opposite position. Take the hand on the left, reach it over and tap. Good. And reach it over and tap. And reach it over and tap. That's 2 on each side. And 3. Keep the heels in the same place. And 3. And 4. And 4. Stay with your breath. Keep it nice and deep and even. Keep the tummy muscles engaged. Good, we've got a few more to go here. Deep inhalations. Exhale out through the mouth. Feel how you go into internal, external rotation with those hip joints. Good, we've got 2 more to go on each side. And last one to this side. Well done. Now, let's come back up into a kneeling position, and I'm going to show you some more strengthening exercises to do here. We're going to start with our left leg out in front of us, and both of our hands will be going down onto the mat on the inside of your left leg. Now watch the spine here wants to really go into flexion, so just lengthen that spine out as much as you can. Keep your knee on the left behind the big toe, and then tuck the toe under behind you. Good. We're going to start a rotation through the spine here with the hips opening up in this sort of lunge position. Take the right hand and then lift that up towards the ceiling. And as you do this lifting up, you're lengthening out through the spine. I'm hoping you're watching this first before you're doing it. If not, stop doing it and watch. Reach up and then you bring it back down again. So the first few repetitions is going to be with the knee down. Okay? Keep on watching. Then the next few repetitions is going to be with the legs stretched out behind you. And then stay balanced and then reach up. You can see how I'm focusing a little bit harder here to make sure that I'm not falling over. There we go. Okay, ready? So come from your kneeling position, take your left leg out in front of you, both of your hands down onto the floor, keep the knee down. I've got my toes tucked under, but you can untuck the toes here because we're not pushing up yet. Now lift, lengthen through the spine, and then lift that arm up to the ceiling. And you can look up towards the ceiling if that feels comfortable. Make sure you're really sinking into this stretched position for your hips. Bring it back down. The breathing is inhale, exhale. We're doing 5. And this is Number 3. Feel how that left elbow is pushing the knee open. And number 4. And number 5. Good. Now tuck the toes under. Reach that leg out behind you. And slowly lift that arm up now. Staying balanced. Reach the leg long behind you for 1. And 2. And 3. Watch a lot of strength work happening there in your left leg. 4. Stay with me, just 1 more. And 5. Well done. Sit back with the bum. Keep the leg out in front of you at a slight knee bend. Then lift your toes up towards the ceiling. Again, try and lengthen a little bit through the spine. Have your hands down on the floor here by the side. And then dig your heel in as you start rolling from left to right. Just keep on digging down, digging down, digging down. Keep on rolling it. This is a great way of stretching your hamstring muscle. Fantastic. And let's do the same on the other side. I'm just going to swap sides here. Good. Now, we're going to take our right leg out in front of us. And then from here, we're going to take both hands, place it down onto the mat. So you know the drill. You don't have to watch this repetition. Just do the next 5 of each with me. Keep the knee down. Keep your right hand down. And then let's rotate, lengthen, lift the arm up. And you might notice that there's a slight difference from one rotation to the one side compared to the other side. Exhale. Exhale. Two more. And last one. Now, we're going to tuck the toes under behind us, stretch the leg away from us, and then let's go for 5 in this position. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Now sit down and back with the bum. Lift the toes up towards your shins. Hands down by the sides of the leg. Try and lengthen the spine out as much as you can. Dig the heel down into the mat and then let's roll it from side to side. And keep on rolling it. Lengthening the spine, digging down and rolling. Make sure there's a bend in your knee. This is called fascia release for the hamstrings. All that soft tissue that wraps around everything and connects it in the body, they also need to stretch and lengthen. Good. Okay. And we'll finish this little routine for your hips with a seated position for the child's pose. Open up the knees as wide as you can and then just drop the belly button to the floor as much as you can. Walk your hands out and then relax the forehead down on the floor or close to the floor as you can. But with the knees open, we're stretching into the hips. And we're going to do 3 deep breaths here. So keep the head down. If you are struggling with the head and the spine mobility here, to be able to relax the neck, just grab a little pillow and just place that underneath the forehead. Right, into your child's pose, wide knees. Let's take a deep breath into the back of the rib cage. Two more. Last one. And on the last one, take the hands, interlace the fingers behind the spine, and then reach it up towards the ceiling. Reach it up as you exhale. And then release it. Walk the hands over towards your left. And then take your right hand and grab a hold of your left wrist. Breathe into the side body on the right. And walk the hands all the way over to the right. And grab the wrist on the right with your left hand. Walk it back into the middle. Slowly roll the spine back up. And that is your little hip routine that you can do during the day or in the mornings when you wake up or just before you go running or even just after you've gone running. I hope you enjoy that. Thank you.